Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Big updates today around the world, especially on the destination of Ye. Rumours are emerging that his deal is now done, the contract is signed, he's locked in with a team. Some people are saying this is going to be Bleed Esports, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Surely they're going to get somebody good. It's not going to be Aspas. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Demon 1. Ye could well be the target, but loads of other updates as well. NRG Marved apparently is locked in. Very much enjoy to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, then, to dive right in, Rien's Turkish player, 18-year-old, looking to sign potentially with Team Heretics. He has had interest, according to Alejandro, from multiple different teams, but he's probably going to go to Heretics. Now, verbal agreements are not necessarily contractual guarantees until you see the team confirm it itself, or until you see the player tweet out the contract signing graphic, which they always tend to do. That's when you pretty much know that it's a done deal. We still don't have that from certain players, and that's what we'll discuss here with Marved in a second. Now, also from Oxygen Esports, of course, in the Tier 2 sides, they are confirming that Rustin is going to move back to the assistant coach role, and Dapr is going to come in as a new player on the roster. This, I've got to say, is just one of the worst announcement videos I've seen. No massive disrespect, but just the lighting, oh, it frustrates me. We've got the light behind your guy in the foreground here. It's like, it just makes him in the shadow, and it just looks so bad. And then we've got Dapr comes in the background, and it's like, come on, can we not... Surely this room, it could have been set out in a better way to actually have the light on the face of the actors, or, you know, the players in this case. But whatever. They did a video, so fair play. But Dapr's joining. Pretty cool stuff, to be fair, because, of course, after his stint on Sentinels that didn't end particularly well, he's, you know, been looking for better opportunities, and now Oxygen Esports looks like it's going to be that team after the G2 stint last season. Now, there's also been some updates on what's going on with Loud. Rumour says that one of the players that they actually wanted might well get stolen away by Leviathan again. So I don't exactly know what's happening in that region right now, but it is very interesting because there's rumors that Sadak will probably stay, but the team is going to be Toy, Sadak, Karen's in, Les, and then this guy Garvien, who was previously, I think, on the Union team actually, as well as Havoc. But Havoc was the guy that we thought was going to come in to replace Aspas. Aspas going to Leviathan. We believe that's now a done deal. And Havoc was meant to be coming instead. There's actually quite a few options here they're still considering, but it feels like Loud are on a bit of a back foot at the moment in terms of actually locking this stuff in. Because, yeah, lots of questions as to exactly what's happening, but the theory is that Leviathan has potentially got another player that that Loud actually wanted. So, in addition to getting Aspas, who is, you know, that's already a done deal, it seems, at least according to what we saw yesterday. Apparently, they've now got maybe Havoc as well, and this we actually see in Flynn's spreadsheet, at least as a current rumour. If we look here at the Americas, and we'll come back to this in a second, but it's pretty much known that Aspas to Leviathan is happening, but we can see that Havoc is now listed as, okay, an unlikely possibility as a rumour, but it feels possible that that could happen as well, because Havoc was, apart from Aspas, like one of the most promising Brazilian players that you'd have thought for sure is going to go to Loud. He was linked to Loud, but as of yesterday's spreadsheet, his likelihood of joining is now decreased, and the likelihood of him going to Leviathan has potentially increased, with Shy potentially going to Crew instead of staying on Leviathan. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens there. Also, NRG, what would you guys do if you're NRG and Sadak goes to Loud, and, you know, obviously Boostio's going to 100 Thieves, we believe? What do you do in terms of in-game leadership? Do you say, all right, Marved, you know, get on your horse, it's time to go again, as we did in the most recent season with the Sentinels team? Did that affect his play? I think it did, and I don't know if I want to have Marved in-game lead if I was the general manager or coach of NRG, but maybe with more time he can do better at it. Or do you bring in another IGL? The thing is, though, if you can't get Sadak, you're not getting FNS. FNS is gone. You're not getting Boostio. You're not getting John QT. You're not getting Valin. So what are your options if Sadak stays on Loud? You know, maybe Stella, right, formerly 100 Thieves, maybe Arin, right, formerly of like Xset and Global Esports this most recent season. But apart from that, it's like, I don't know, I'm not so convinced. There's an argument at that point that you're better off just stacking firepower and saying, all right, Ethan, just come in and we'll just try and make it work. Because, yeah, NRG went from having this potential super team to all of a sudden not locking in those players and now feeling somewhat vulnerable, actually, to the developments over the coming days. A couple of quick tweaks here as well, especially on Team Liquid side with CNED. So CNED, we know he's gone from Na'Vi. Artis is going back over there to the former FPX guys that are now Na'Vi. And Zenid was apparently trialing with Foot Esports, and he's still linked here. But he's also linked to Team Liquid. And this would actually be really quite exciting to see how that could go. And I kind of like the idea of that, actually. So yeah, Zenid to Liquid is on the table. We have a couple of changes with KOI. Also, Redgert now, his likelihood on Carmine Corp is now going down. So I don't know what's happening over there, because Redger's been all over the shop. He's been Liquid, he's been back to Carmine Corp, he's been back the other way. So I don't know what's happening there, to be honest. In the Pacific, there's a couple of tweaks, but what we will get into is the Bleed Esports situation, because this is where my attention is now turning big time. We've talked about the Aspas potential move to Bleed, the Demon 1 potential move to Bleed, and the Ye potential move to Bleed. And Aspas is locked down, we think, to Leviathan. We're pretty sure that Demon 1 is stuck in contract jail over at Evil Geniuses. Now, as I said before, if there is one team that could potentially buy him out of that, it's probably Bleed. The rumour is they have more money than absolutely anyone. But a lot of the attention is now turning to Ye. We'll get back to that in a second. Firstly, Marved reached a verbal agreement, according to James Veffy, with NRG, along with keeping Crashes and Victor. We've known about this for a little bit of time now, it seems, but yeah, according to James, it's now a done deal, and he's going to be joining that roster now. Okay, verbal agreement, as I say, it's not the same, but we're pretty sure this is happening. It makes way too much sense. What I want to know is who's going to in-game lead, and they're going to have a real decision to make on that one over the coming days. And we saw this in Marv back on September the 12th as well, kind of implying that there was going to be something like this happening in the near future. Now, let's talk about the Ye situation. Yesterday, Rashindra from Global Esports confirmed that by the time they reached out to Ye, which apparently they did, Ye had already committed to somebody else when we had approached. And this is the thing that the leakers either aren't telling us or they don't know what Ye's actually up to. But Global Esports are saying, yeah, Ye is, he's signed a deal or he's committed elsewhere, and that's a done deal, and therefore we can get him. Now, would Ye want to go to Global Esports anyway? Probably not, but still, it's seemingly a confirmation that EA has something on the table, unless they're completely making this up and manufacturing it. And I don't necessarily think that's the case, because this, serious source here, who has said some things that actually have turned out to be kind of accurate over the last couple of weeks, has, said on September the 17th, can't wait for Ye to get announced. Ye says, soon, bro, it's going to happen. And then a couple of you guys pointed this account out to me, and I don't know if I was getting linked to this by the owner of the account, which is possible, but it was interesting enough to mention, and there are actually a few more pointers than just this account, Squirreliest. So a couple of days ago now, actually 5 days ago, Squirreliest comes out and says, this is not a joke post, this is a done deal, Ye will be going to Bleed. Locked in, he says, he'll be replacing former duelist Juicy, who's going to do his national service. Ye's hoping to make the comeback over there. So I saw this and I thought, all right, sure, it's easy to say. However, looking at Squirrelist, look, only 24 followers here on this report, but if we go back to the 14th of September, the account is tweeting about multiple players, formerly of Most Moguls, now it should be formerly, not formerly, but, whatever, forgiven, will be joining Shopify Rebellion, and we saw just yesterday that they confirmed the partnership between Most Moguls and Shopify Rebellion. So, that was quite an impressive thing to say a week before we actually got the announcement, and then a couple of days later, now okay, we pretty much knew this, right, that Whippy was going to be going to Cloud9, but still, that was a few days before that we thought it was very likely. And now, on September the 17th, so we're talking 5 days ago, he says, when Bleed Esports comes knocking, it's a different type of knock, Ye will be joining Bleed. So, you can look at these things and say, well, I can see why that might not be the case. But the thing that I think maybe, it doesn't solidify this, but it's this account again, the serious account, saying, can't believe it took him 1 year to sign with them. I guess it was worth the wait, El Diablo. And this is the big point, is that last season, you guys probably remember, going into franchising, Ye had offers from every franchise team in North America but EG, I think. Maybe it wasn't 100 Thieves because they decided to get Cryo and they didn't want to pay the money. And to be fair, maybe it was never going to be Sentinels, but Ye basically was in conversations with all of the North American teams, except Evil Geniuses, and or maybe he did have offers with them or discussions with them, but he didn't want to join them anyway, which you can't blame him, at least at the time. So he was talking, between Sentinels, between 100 Thieves, NRG, and of course Cloud9 is where he ended up last season, Ye. But during the whole period, period, there were rumors he had a mega offer coming out of the Pacific region, and the belief was that that was from Bleed. They were offering him, I don't know, 40k a month. I don't know what these offers are, but apparently they're pretty big. $500,000 a year, we're talking, I think, something like that anyway. But at the time, Bleed Esports were a tier 2 team. They weren't even in the franchise league. So Ye was like, well, why would I take this big money offer from Bleed? At least that was the rumor, to go and join those guys in the Pacific. Why would I not just take a similarly big offer, really, from Cloud9, stay in the Americas, and play in tier 1? It was a no-brainer. But now the decision is somewhat more difficult. Bleed are offering more money than anybody, and you know, in the Americas, at least that's what we believe, and in the Americas, you know, they're kind of going a little bit down the more budget route, and Bleed are now in the franchise league. They qualified through Ascension, and they qualified through, you know, to become part of the partnership league. So all of a sudden, it does add up, right? And now we've got a couple of accounts kind of implying, oh, well, you know, it took him 1 year to sign with them, but now it's done. I guess it was worth the wait. So the implication here is evidence that Bleed Ye is on the cards. But yeah, what do you guys think in the comment section below? I'd be very much intrigued to your perspective, because I just don't exactly know where else makes sense for Ye, given the circumstances we find ourselves in. Like, there aren't many options. You look on the table here for what's happening in the Americas, which teams might need a player like Ye, and it's only teams where players are getting linked in that role. Now, we know that Ye has said that he's happy to be either a duelist or a sentinel or even initiator, and he is happy to run all of those roles. Maybe not happy to, but he would accept running those roles to get on a good situation. But there isn't really, apart from like EG, or maybe in some weird world 100 Thieves, there isn't really many options here for Ye to go to. And we believe that Cloud9 is now locked in, right? And all the leakers are saying that Cloud9's team, well, the theory is that they're getting worse, and maybe that's true. But if there actually was Ye coming along, the leakers would probably be putting in their tier list of roster changes that Cloud9 a little bit higher up than, you know, not so good. So, you know, there just aren't many options here. And in the EMEA region, the contracts that you get are much lower even than in the Americas. So that seems unlikely. So then you got to look at Bleed, and there is a spot open here replacing Juicy. It just makes a fair bit of sense that someone's going to go there, and you know, maybe Ye's going to be the man this time round. So that's kind of what we understand for now. We shall see over the coming days whether any of this actually comes true or not. But yeah, lots happening lately. If you guys want to make sure you don't miss anything, hit the sub button, all that good stuff. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.